Preface and Part 1, Chapter 1 of Johnny Reb and Billy Yank. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Barry Eads. Johnny Reb and Billy Yank by Alexander Hunter. Preface. There were thousands of soldiers on both sides during the Civil War who, at the beginning, started to keep a diary of daily events, but those who kept a record from start to finish can be counted on the fingers of one hand. I was so fortunate as to save most of my notes made during the 4 years of conflict, and in 1865, having no fixed pursuit in life, I spent most of the time in arranging and writing up these incidents of camp life while fresh in my memory. I have given in these pages veracious account of the life of a soldier in Lee's army. The public have been surfeited with war literature. There is hardly a prominent officer, North or South, who has not rushed into print at every available opportunity. Yet no officer high in rank dared write the exact truth, for the reason he has the feelings, the self-love, and the reputations of those who served under him to consider. A private in the ranks, who has learned something of the art of war through tough experience in two branches of the service, should be able to write understandingly of that internecine conflict which rocked America like an earthquake. At least he can afford to tell the truth as to what he saw, heard, and thought without fear or favor, and above all, a private in the ranks, having no grievance, can be fair and just. In those days, Johnny Reb and Billy Yank were good comrades when off duty. They had a profound respect for each other, and as Bulwer says, "It is astonishing how much we like a man after fighting him." A. H. Washington, D.C., November, 1904. End of preface. Part 1, Chapter 1. The Rising of the Curtain. Few people have any conception of the fearful ordeal through which the private in the ranks was called upon to pass during the 4 years of our great civil contest. It shall be my task to portray the soldier's life both in sunshine and in shadow, from the gathering of the storm clouds which burst upon the wide plains of Manassas to the hour in which the blood-red banner went down at Appomattox. It was my good fortune to serve in two branches of the service, infantry and cavalry, 2 years in each. This necessarily widened my experience and furnished scope for observation. The terms Yankees and Rebels, as idioms of the camp, have been used without offense meant to either side. It has been my earnest endeavor to present a faithful and nonpartisan statement of what passed under my own observation, so far as the life of the private was concerned. Of the facts of war upon which history is founded, I have not hesitated to make use of the most accepted authority on either side, having ever felt that profound respect for a brave foe which every veteran cherishes for another. Pope says, "There are 2 events in a man's life that he never forgets. The first, when he discarded small clothes and put on his primal breeches, and again when he transferred those small clothes to another, and that other his wife." Yet there are days more strongly impressed on my mind than these, days whose memory is as ineffaceable as if wrought in bronze. The 20th of December, 1860, was one of these. Under the peaceful shadow of a Virginia college, its assembled students, from a conscientious regard for duty, had resolved to pay no heed to the mutterings of approaching war that came to them borne on the wings of every wind, and to consider the marching of squadrons, the tramp of hurrying battalions, the rumbling of artillery as naught but a fantasy of the brain or a winter's night reverie. But in vain. As day after day passed, the air grew heavy with the signs of coming tempests, and as the excitement continued to increase, study and routine became impossible. Books were thrown aside and daily papers only furnished food for thought and discussion. Among so many, there were enthusiasts who urged an immediate break-up, but the majority decided to remain until further developments. The end came soon. On the 20th of December, 1860, startling news reached the college that South Carolina, taking the initiative, had succeeded. That much was certain. Besides this there were 1,000 rumors, among others that Governor Letcher would bring about the secession of Virginia by a coup d'etat and was preparing to attack Fortress Monroe immediately.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?